Yeah,
That sounds
No,
pretty
that's
gay.
not
it's just
gay.
honestly,
That's
it is the
like
he
us,
is the gayest and whitest motherfucker on YouTube.
us
Uh,
people of the LGBT don't claim them.
Actually,
If he's
the
talking
food he
about,
makes is fucking excellent. It's really good, and he seems very nice too.
Oh, hey, we're streaming.
Bro, yeah,
Fucking
that's like
white.
when I had an existential crisis when I realized that Bruce Lee is Jewish. It really fucked with me.
How is Bruce Lee Jewish?
Bruce Lee is half Jewish.
Uh huh.
His mom, his dad is Chinese, and his mom is Jewish.
Uh huh.
And
that's
yeah, I
had
know.
no idea.
I didn't either. I was like, what? No, dude, he can't be. I don't want some like super Jewish dude being like my kung fu idol. No, dude, fuck that. I can't imagine that.
Oh shit! Like you try to get away from it, and it always catches up with you.
It always comes back. Bruce Lee being Jewish is like the closest thing to me believing that there is some grand conspiracy Jewish cabal. Because I'm like, how? How the fuck?
Hell yeah, dude.
And he doesn't even do jujitsu. It's fucking Wing Chun. What the fuck?
Yeah, I have no idea what the difference is between these two.
Jiu-Jitsu isn't even the Jewish one. That's fucking Krav Maga, dude. Why didn't they call it Jiu-Jitsu the Jewish one?
They really
come
should.
on.
I was doing Krav Maga for a while.
actually.
But
I've got a bit of
Corona
a
happened.
rant incoming.
Oof.
Yeah.
I've got a bit. Well, I've got two rants actually. First one though is very important because how fucking privileged do you have to be to put your fucking trash in someone else's property? How fucking privileged do you have to be?
That's not being privileged.
No,
Sometimes.
no. It definitely is because you disregard other people's property just for your own fucking convenience.
What do you mean by
Posh,
that?
Are you
though?
German?
No.
Wait, Posh, what do you mean by that? Because an example of me doing that is like me and the boys
No,
just
like,
got really
you
fucked
putting-
up, and
you
we have all
putting
these beer
your
cans that we need to
empty-
get rid of, and we go to a gas station, and we just throw it into their dumpster.
Hell yeah,
No,
brother.
not that.
I mean,
not that.
okay,
I legitimately mean other people's property, like actual physical property. Like if someone sees a bicycle with a bicycle bag on it, they put their trash in that, for example.
Damn, I mean, that's a power move. That's shitty. like,
That is fucked up, yeah, but I don't
Yeah,
see
that's
how that's a
fucked.
privilege
Okay, well,
thing.
I mean, if I can say Posh, is this
No,
the thing,
I
like,
definitely see it as a
Silver,
privilege thing.
there's
Like
something
you,
off with your audio.
yeah.
it is,
But
and
like,
I'm
who
terrible
could
at
get
it.
away with that without getting their ass beat? Like, I don't know. I don't care who the fuck you
people-
are. Like,
yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
that's
But
fair,
you know, like in the UK, you try self-defense. It's like, no.
oh right,
bro,
yeah, you
you're
live in
going-
backwards country.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Boys, I was using my
Ah.
earbuds, but apparently the microphone shit on them. It's a good thing I'm getting AirPods for my
Apparently.
birthday, and it also was my birthday Tuesday. What's up, everybody?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
up?
Hell
happy
yeah.
birthday for that again, my man. Very nice.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah, I am
good
at
job.
the beach. Yeah, I'm at the beach.
Good
Good
visiting
job to your
some
mother
family.
for pushing your dumb head out.
Yeah, good job
I always
for
do.
not dying.
I'm 21, so I can buy beer
I'm
now.
glad you didn't strangle yourself on the
yeah.
umbilical cord. Congratulations.
What? He's
Hell
on
yeah.
the-
Clone Wars is
Oh,
a kid
you
show.
finally can drink alcohol because no one's ever done that before. They're 21 in the United
Yeah.
States.
Well, I can buy it now.
Congratulations.
That's the
drinking
point. That's
alcohol
the
right now.
point, Fish.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yo, why the stream starting so late today? It's like, don't you start
No,
like?
it
it's
starts
like
at
like
the
it.
same time every time.
Oh, yeah, they're dumb and their time zones change at the wrong time. That's why. That
No,
was-
it's like I checked
yeah, okay,
earlier.
I see what the
Yeah.
problem is. Yeah,
Hang on.
Yes.
I mean, I hate the fucking daylight savings time thing anyway. But to
Yeah.
then not have it be on the same day around the world it just adds insult to injury. It is
Oh,
Based-
right,
incredible.
daylight savings time.
Based
So
Arizona doesn't recognize it. Based Arizona
that's-
doesn't have daylight savings.
that's
So
what-
you
okay,
don't. You
I
have
see now.
individual states in the U.S. that don't do it.
Actually, I remember.
I think it's
Yeah,
only
that's
Arizona
true.
that doesn't.
Oh my God,
Florida was considering it
dude.
because the whole point of it is that it's supposed to be for like northern states because it gets really dark really quick.
Oh my God.
So they want more sunlight for some fucking reason. I
It
guess
still
because they're
gets
not
really
clear
dark
trolls.
really quick. It still
No,
gets really
wait.
dark really quick. It
It's
doesn't
the
help.
thing is like, oh, this is so like farmers can work early, and it's just get up an hour earlier then, you fucking clown.
Yeah,
You're
but you gotta
so
move your
proud
clock
that you
back.
rise with the sunrise anyway.
Just get up when your rooster crows, you fucking
Yeah.
cunts, dude.
Yeah,
Or
you
just or
goober.
just
Fucking neighbor.
before it. They do power move on the
Fucking
sun.
cunt.
Do shit before the sun does it. You'd be better than it. Be better than the sun.
Yeah.
No, no, farmers are cool.
Farmers
Also,
are
I don't think
great.
they can. I don't think they can get up before the sun because they're busting their ass all day. I think they just need their sleep. Like if they didn't do that, they'd just be nonstop fucking working.
But like that's the
the-
thing though, right? The daylight saving time doesn't change when the sun comes up. It just changes like the
Wait.
subjective time that we measure the
Wait.
sun in.
Wait, what are you talking about? Yes, it does. It
Uh,
changes the Earth's rotation, dude. What are you talking about?
it
America's that
changes the Earth's
powerful.
rotation, except in Arizona.
yeah.
It's
Look, the
just-
consensus is the rotation of the Earth has slowed. I'm sorry, you cannot fight us on this.
Yeah. We have
Wait,
like a
really?
hydraulics thing underneath of Arizona that like pumps them out into a different orbit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Here's the
just
different
slightly
thing.
different.
Why the old Mexico was fine? Why did they need to make a new one?
Because fucking
Yeah.
Mexico.
Well, no,
More
old
like
Mexico was gay.
Mexico.
Regular Mexico is based, and New Mexico's all right. I don't know what you're talking about. Fuck that lispy Spanish they speak in Old Mexico, dude. Over in the wrong side of the fucking world.
Excuse me.
Agreed.
Barcelona.
Excuse me, senor.
Hey, Burger, do you speak Spanish at all? Because you're technically
Yes.
part Spanish.
I'm not
How
technically part Spanish at all, but yes, I do speak Spanish.
Oh, yeah, you know,
Got
I
him.
eat sheep.
I
thought
just
you
lived in
family
Spain
was-
for a couple years till I was like 10.
Liar.
Well, you got like, or like your grandparents from Spain or something?
No, my grandparents were spies for the Stasi, and when the wall fell, they were like, "Yeah, we have this house in Spain. Let's move there permanently," because they were spies in the West for the Stasi, and
Hey.
so that's why they moved to Spain permanently.
Yeah, but
Wait,
Spain
your
was
grandparents are
Spain the
communist
West?
spies?
Mm,
Wait, back
well,
up.
okay, so they're very much not communists or socialists. They're like extremely conservative. Well, not as they're tolerant, but like in terms of economics, they're very anti-communist because they were forced to do it. Basically, they were like, what happened was basically they tried, which is what a lot of people were doing back then. My grandfather, before they put up the wall, had already moved to. They were from the area around Dresden. Near the Czech border, and my grandfather already moved to Cologne, and then he married my grandmother and wanted to get her and my mother over, and they tried to flee over the Czech border, but they got caught. Probably actually because my great grandmother, which is my grandmother's mother,
Had a huge penis.
didn't want to be left alone. And so they were like, well, you can go west, but you will have to spy for us, or we will shoot you in the head right now. You, your wife, and then your daughter is going to go to a state facility because her parents died in a tragic automobile accident. And if
I
you
mean,
stop
that sounds
spying-
reasonable.
Yeah, and if you stop
Sounds
spying for us in the
entirely
west,
reasonable.
we will send someone who will shoot you. Because they also had assassins in the West. Yeah, and that's how my grandparents became communist spies. They got...
you,
Based.
yeah.
you said ass.
Hello.
Actually, they were liberal communists, Burger.
Story.
I think
They were
actually
liberal communists.
the Deutsche Demokratische Republik called itself socialist explicitly, not communist. Wow, the fucking sheep
They
come
were
with you.
fucking socialists.
That's the same thing.
Oh my
Like, 'cause,
god.
Because at the time, right, like like West Germany was going under like sort of the same ideological framework that like the USSR was going under. Sorry, East Germany. I don't know why I said West. East Germany was going under the same framework as like the USSR, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
which-
also, ironically, the major industrial powerhouse of the USSR. Because it's
yeah, because it was
just-
Germany. Germany at the time was already like a hugely industrialized country.
Well,
So when they
there's
took it
actually
over,
a very interesting geography reason for this. and that is that most countries concentrate their and this is also true in a because of different reasons for the United States. Most countries sort of concentrate their capabilities around the capital, because the capital is, there's usually a reason why it's the capital. But Germany is a land that has a lot of rivers, and so it's actually rather difficult to traverse it in a large scale, or at least it was for a long, long time. And so
fuck?
what happened is that many different individual cities that were rather isolated from each other built up a very strong basic industrial infrastructure. And that from the very beginning made it so that these cities had a lot more potential to grow.
Wait,
So these cities being
most U.S. like industrial like capabilities were not located around D.C., and that's not
Yeah,
why
exactly. It's the same.
So,
This is why I said for
Okay.
different reasons. This is
Oh.
also true in the
Oh,
United States.
I thought you meant the other way around. I'm
No,
sorry,
no.
because I was gonna
No, you're
say
saying like in like France, it's like centered around Paris.
Yes,
because
yes.
like our reason, our capital is the same reason why Albert, whatever the fuck it is in Australia. It's just because it's in the middle,
Yeah.
so let's put it in the middle.
It's in the middle, and there was literally nothing around it, and they didn't want to have like they didn't want to like it was originally actually Philadelphia was originally the capital,
Yeah.
which is our
Yeah.
industrial sector.
Burger, from what you said, so the reason why so German towns, since it's so hard to traverse on land because of the amount of rivers, they became more self-sufficient.
Yeah,
And
yes. And then when we eventually came up with bridges, people were like, oh, this because what happens when you have a lot of neighbors that are highly developed that you can trade with is that it like the trade and the innovation resulting from it becomes a lot stronger and more stable. So the industrial capable, so a lot there's a lot more industrialized and industrially developed area in Germany, and there has been for like hundreds of years.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember that like the Rhine gets a little has like its own weird kind of independence streak too. Like there was that whole thing with the bottleneck free state for a bit, right? Like
Sorry,
right after
what?
World War One. Yeah, the
I'm
bottleneck free
from the
state.
Rhine, and I've never heard of this.
all right, homies. I'm coming up to a busy road. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you guys
around,
next
my
week.
man.
See ya.
Later.
Clear.
Basically, what happened, if I remember correctly, I recommend obviously looking up because I'm no authoritative expert.
No, I'm just
nothing
going
but-
to listen to you on this and never fact check anything.
Based.
Heck. Anyway,
Eat at
What's your
the
source on
steakhouse
this?
of
I made it
ideology.
up.
Eat at the steakhouse of ideology.
but anyway, to my knowledge, how
the steakhouse of ideology.
Yeah,
To my
please,
knowledge-
go on.
to my knowledge, how the bottleneck free state came about was right after World War One. You guys were basically stuck in the whole depression in phase because of all the reparations and basically having your entire state ruled by foreign powers for a little
Based.
bit. One of the things that came out of
Sounds
that
about
was
right.
that everything was kind of split up after the Treaty of Versailles for a minute, right? So one of the things that happened was that a lot of states in the Rhineland were just kind of arbitrarily cut off. So just this entire area along one of the main rivers, I forget the name of it, essentially just kind of, they didn't really declare independence per se. They just kind of started doing their own thing and ignoring the rules of.
Oh yeah,
rules
no,
in
I know
place.
what you mean. And this is I would not if this one specifically, but this was a thing in Germany back then because after World War One, when the German Empire was ended, Germany was suddenly just a whole big region of there's no government here. There was yesterday and there isn't today in all of Germany. And this is one of the major reasons why in leftist circles, especially in the ones who can't let go of the fucking past, social democrats are so utterly hated. Because what happened was that in a lot of, especially interestingly enough, military councils and started occurring. Basically, there was base democracy happening because of all of these cities were so self-dependent, so independent of each other to a large extent that they didn't necessarily need most of the other cities in order to survive. Soviets were founded very often around military figures. of like actual democratic self-governance in a lot of small states. And somebody actually declared the Communist Republic of Germany. Until then, a couple hours later, the Weimar Republic was declared by the Social Democrats. And this was a lot more in line with. This is basically then the state that got accepted by everyone else. And one of the first things they did was like eliminate these Soviet councils. So if that hadn't happened, Germany would have been communist.
And actually, Gomez,
After
because like one of the first things that happened in the USSR was that Lenin
Based
dissolved the
communism.
Soviets whenever he took power. Like he used the Soviets as like a means by which to to achieve power, and then immediately consolidated that power into the state.
Cody, excuse me, but what was the USSR called again?
Steve, the USSR is a lot like the Holy Roman Empire.
No,
It's
just
not united,
what was its name?
Wait, hold the fuck up. Did you just say that the USSR was like the Holy Roman Empire, the most...
You want me to finish that sentence first?
Can we please?
Yeah, he didn't even finish
But
it.
like the moment you bring that up, I'm
He's
just
not
like,
playing into the meme.
how?
Shut the fuck up. Holy shit.
No. Fuck you, I will not let this go.
He's refusing to play the game.
Dude, debate is
Do it.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
How dare
fucking
he be
let him.
as someone who thinks and not be
Yeah.
an idiot?
Oh my god.
How dare you,
game,
Cody,
come
not
on.
eat from the trash can of ideology?
yeah. Cody, just hit the ball. I'll throw it again. Okay. What's the name of the USSR? What's it called again? I forget.
You know, I feel demoralized from making this comment now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
To
but
answer
but say it.
Voltaire famously said of the Holy Roman Empire, it wasn't holy, it wasn't Roman, and it wasn't an empire. What I was going to say was the Soviet Union, the USSR, the United Soviet Socialist Republic was not united. It didn't have any Soviets. It wasn't socialist, and it wasn't a republic.
Then why would it be called that thing?
I don't
Why
know.
would it have the name? Or you're gonna tell me the Nazis weren't
Chessmate
socialists,
atheist.
dude? Next you're gonna tell me the Nazis weren't socialists.
But yeah, that was basically is what would have happened. But this new state founded by the Social Democrats, basically annihilate. They didn't annihilate it with so much violence as it was like.
No, it just kind of dissolved, and they're like, "Oh, I guess we're done then."
Yeah, and this is why this is a big reason why Social Democrats are hated in leftist circles, especially in Germany.
There's a meme that goes around called the social fascism meme where like anarchists and like Marxists will call like Sockdems fascists.
Yeah,
on the
there's
theory
also in Germany there is the saying "Wer hat uns verraten? Sozialdemokraten," which is who betrayed us, Social Democrats.
Yeah.
Oof, that's harsh.
Yeah,
That's,
so
yeah,
I think
damn.
that like divide, which I think
Like-
in this day and age is rather toxic in the left. It
Oh
comes from
yeah, it's
Like,
total
goddamn.
bullshit. Like it's. I mean, like I get annoyed by Sockdems a lot, especially like the more like neoliberally type of fucking like the ones who like put globe emojis in their fucking Twitter handle or whatever.
I am a globalist, but
The globe usually means neoliberal.
yeah,
It's basically
yeah.
just
I
means they
fucking
watch
hate
Destiny
that.
and
I
feed off.
fucking hate that they.
But neoliberals aren't fucking sockdems though. That's like the
Yeah.
opposite.
No,
like
but a lot
like
of people who
liberals
self-
are.
I
you could
understand
say.
that, but a lot of people who
Yeah.
self-identify as a
Fucking
neoliberal are
liberals.
just souped-up Sockdems who just want to be edgy online by like saying they like Joe Biden. I guess I don't know. It's a weird. It's like counterculture, but then they like just go into regular culture.
It's
They just like
Twitter.
see counterculture. It's like the conservatives are the new punk kind of shit. It's really fucking annoying.
Wait, they are because they call themselves it. So
Yeah.
This
They
is
call
how
themselves
things work.
Counterculture.
yeah, they.
Conservatism is the new counterculture.
I remember that shit. I was like, what?
Oh my
Even
God.
back then, when I was like more tolerant of conservatism, I was like, you are the biggest bitches there are. 2 years
Oh,
ago,
I
you were
used to like
crying
'em.
whenever there was a fucking sex scene in a video game.
Mashallah.
That like
Mm.
how quickly they forgot just because they wanted to be cool.
Oh, no, they haven't.
No, and
forgotten.
then
just
they
said
remembered real quick once their narrative started being spun. I mean, now you'll see like it's the same folks who were saying like the SJWs come for your video games are now saying like video games are degeneracy.
I mean,
Haram.
yeah, I haven't seen a lot of
Absolutely
those, but I
haram.
fully expected. What I fucking found fucking
Absolutely haram.
hilarious is this guy Matt Walsh talking about Squid Game, how it's about nothing, and it's just
Matt
gratuitous
Walsh.
violence
Wait.
See,
that desensitizes
Matt
people
Walsh.
to gratuitous violence, but
Is
also
Matt
he
Walsh
hasn't seen.
is Matt Walsh the Catholic fascist guy? Like he self-identifies
Yeah.
as like a Catholic. Is that guy? Or am I thinking
I'm
of someone
not
else?
sure.
no,
Not as a
isn't
Catholic
that?
fascist, as
That's
I quote from his bio, a theocratic fascist.
oh, okay. Because I was thought you were thinking
Sure.
of Fuentes.
Wait, hold the
I
fuck
think
up. How
you could
can
also
you be
say phalangelism or
Oh, no,
whatever.
right.
Yeah, no,
Jesus Christ.
my thing that I hate, if you look on like all the right, is Squid Games is too good of a show for them to be like it's bad, and too
Yeah.
many people like it, so they have to be it's good, but it doesn't say the thing it says. Like Tim Pool
Yeah.
being like, well, actually, it's about why communism is bad.
I love the.
I mean,
fucking-
capitalism
and
is
this is
good.
me kind of, and this is me kind of going into the weeds with this, but I mean, death of the author is a thing, so
No, but
I mean,
that's
you
the
can
thing.
do what you
Okay,
want.
so this is the
thing
thing,
is,
right? You can death of the author
I give
anything
the author.
and interpret whatever the fuck you want. But if you have a cow
Yeah.
in a show and you don't call this is a comment that I saw. Oh, it's not anti. It doesn't talk about capitalism because it doesn't mention the word capitalism once. It's like if you put a cow on screen and you don't call it a cow, it's still a fucking cow. You know
well,
what
yeah,
I'm
I'm not
saying?
saying I disagree. I'm just saying that, like, to a degree, you can interpret whatever the fuck
Oh
you want
yeah,
out of
it's
it
just
because
a
it's
reach.
art.
You know what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah,
massive reach.
It
But also, this
absolutely
is
is a
like
reach.
the definition of grifting because none of these people actually believe it. It'd be
Oh, yeah.
one thing if they
Fucking-
actually drew this from it, but they're only doing it because it
I
ideologically is what
Well,
they
in that
believe.
video where Tim Pool talks about, he acknowledges that like the creator says it's about capitalism, but he just says he's wrong. Like it's just like
Base-
this is actually about
Base,
this is actually
base.
about socialism.
You know what? I respect that.
'Cause, you
I
know,
respect that.
Socialism is when rich people leverage gambling debts over poor people to then fight in a spectacle for their entertainment.
Socialism is
that's
when
what happens in
capitalism.
socialism. Yeah, it's so
Oh my
that's such a
gosh.
common thing I see.
That
I
is
think
so
honestly,
cringe.
I think that is one of the major problems in the sense of the image that because I have come around to the idea that the only reason why socialism isn't more popular is purely an image problem.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
purely
Yeah.
an image problem, and like it is
I mean, it's-
on one hand most definitely leftists just being leftists, but it is also the fucking neoliberal media apparatus.
I mean, we have like.
I mean, to be fair,
we
you
have like
say
over
that like those
100 years
things
of
aren't the same problem.
anti-communist propaganda that's been perpetrated in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
United States and in the
Yeah.
Western media in general.
Yeah, I
Like,
was gonna say it's the Cold War. Like,
No,
It's
but
so
it's not
pervasive in
just that
society.
though. Honestly, I can't like I especially if I look at the way that most left. Again, Cody, you are the exception to the leftists that people talk to online. I've said this.
Oh, no, I
many
talk
times
to
before.
all types of leftists. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think those kind of people tend to be more in the minority than.
This
I
is
just
my
think they're a
thing.
lot louder, which is
This
the problem.
my thing. This is my thing. I believe in the leftist reverse dog whistle, where not only do
Reverse
you
dog
use a
whistle.
terrible term to describe something that's good, you could use a good, like for instance, whiteness. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
mean what would be the first impression of what.
No, yeah,
you
the
would
first
think
impression
that
would be
might
white people, but whiteness is more the social construction of the idea
Yeah.
of like power in society.
But why
being
the
white
fuck
people.
call it whiteness? And all the language.
I can
around-
tell you- I can tell you
also
why.
tell you why. I know why. It's because they hate white people. That's
Yeah.
the
Oh,
reverse
okay.
dog whistle aspect. It's a shit term for a
not
based
what I was
idea,
gonna
but
say,
they
but-
named it that because they hide behind the based idea, much like right wingers hide behind the states' rights bullshit.
I disagree with that for a lot of reasons. So I mean, primarily, like the term originates in academia.
Yes.
And the reason that
And-
terms like that exist in academia is because they use very, very specific languages in specific contexts to mean certain things.
Have you
And
have you
the-
been around academics a lot?
Some.
Because I have. You live in like a uni environment, And
Mhm.
academics
Oh, no,
are the
poor soul.
pettiest, most fucking like uncool people that you could
Oh,
possibly
yeah.
imagine.
I can confirm this.
So this
I've
is
had
this is them
several
like this.
petty ones.
Absolutely, they use specialized language, but a lot of the time, that specialized language is just them saying, "Oh no, this is a specialized term. I don't actually mean this." But the reason they
Yeah.
chose that term is so in private they themselves could jack off to the idea that actually I do hate
100%.
white people.
Because oh no, not that. Listen, I mean, some maybe, but like, let me give an example.
Like not all
Like,
of them,
you-
clearly.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say the majority of like people in sociology actually have like a hatred of white people, but more like the concept of like this unified white identity. Like, okay, so like you used the term earlier because we were talking about Zizek in Discord, and you mentioned his term that he uses liberal communism. That is inherently a contradictory term on purpose. Like he made that term specifically because it pisses people off when he says it.
Yeah, which is what I mean. It's Zizek.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you could use clearer language than that, but he chooses not to because he's using it in a specific context to make
But that's what I mean. Like, there's no if they don't either they don't care about being clear what they mean, in which case they don't care about the good thing actually happening, or they're doing this on purpose, not simply to like sabotage the thing and to provoke people.
So
Right.
here's what I was going to say happens, right?
Yes.
Is that you have these terms in academic circles, and in those circles of like sociological academic circles, they all understand what that word means. And so they use it as shorthand for like a wider like idea that would take a lot longer to explain. Then it gets disseminated to like other areas, and those start taking like terms and abstractions from it without fully understanding what it means. And then people grab from that and are like, "Oh, they hate white people."
No. But that's what I mean. This is what I mean. Like I know I agree with that happens. What I'm also saying is the additional layer of that secretly there is this element of wanting ethical absolution for hating a certain group of people. That is
maybe
still
for
because
some, but I think
because
that
academics.
I think that more comes at the tail end of it, like
Because
the end where like
academics are
people are
still
grabbing
people.
these terms.
Like you can
Sure.
this way you can do this and come up with an actually good concept, but you can still go, I fucking hate white people. Right? Even though that isn't really it's not like I'm not saying this is like a grand conspiracy or some shit, right? I'm saying like this is the effect of the fact that academics are still humans, and some of them are the worst humans you will ever run into because they're so fucking mired
what
in
I'm-
So
ideology.
do you think that the concept of like whiteness in like a sociological sense of like it being like a social construction that we have to abolish based on like elements of like power, you think that's like a dog whistle for them, like what, like killing white people?
No. That is explicitly the opposite of what I just said. So I
Okay,
don't
I guess I'm
believe that
confused
that
what
is
you're
what
talking
that
about then.
is. No, I don't think it is some grand conspiracy and some secret thing. What I think is that the people who came up with the term did so not just because they're so like edgy, cool leftists who want to fucking provoke people, but because they really the reverse dog whistle aspect of it is that it describes a cool concept with a shit name, but the reason it uses that shit name is because those people in like their emotional selves, not their academic and hyper-intellectualized selves, a lot of them straight up just want an excuse to hate a group of people. And the only group of people that among leftists you're allowed to hate is white people.
Capitalists. Oh.
And
Yeah, I was
capitalists.
gonna say like there's a lot of
Right.
groups you can let it hate.
Honestly, this whole conversation is just convincing me that maybe Pol Pot had the right idea when he shot all the people who had more than a high school education.
It's like there's a lot of like it's like a Inception type situation. If you
I still
go
am confused with what you're
deeper,
talking about, to be honest with you. Like I don't. Like,
this-
you're saying
it's-
that like they just want the feeling of saying they hate a particular group, even though that's
This
not what
is
they
the-
mean, or
you
do you think
know
they
the-
actually mean that they hate that group?
you know the
Like they hate like people with white skin.
you know the Aldous Huxley quote with the fucking what's the thing?
Everything's about getting pussy.
You want
Right.
the moral absolution of feeling self-righteous about hating a certain group of people, any group of people, really.
Okay.
This is what I think that is.
Mm.
It's
I think maybe at
it
the
is
tail end,
hiding.
I don't.
It is effectively and when I say hiding, it sounds like I mean, oh, this is like like the way that white right wingers talk about like white replacement. It's not some fucking conspiracy, and it's not what they actually mean, right? In the sense of like this
Sure.
is what they secretly mean. This is just a little thing that they can go fucking hate white people. Just to
Okay.
give themselves that little bit of moral absolution to, in a purely emotional context, be fucking
Oh, I guess I
childish.
can. I guess I can understand that. Where like they don't actually mean they hate white people, but
Yeah.
they're frustrated with a group based along these like cultural lines, and therefore they have like this shorthand to say I dislike this element of
No,
this
I
society.
also mean they're prejudiced because they once again I hate this notion of academics are somehow these rational thinkers. No, they are once again like yes
Okay, so-
they think in like grander concepts, but they're still people and they are especially mired in ideology.
Okay, so you think okay, this is the problem I'm having, right? Because then we get back to this part where you then say they're like actually like. Do you mean they think they actually like hate?
Well, there's a
people
big
based on the
element
color
of
of their
cognitive
skin?
dissonance involved.
See, this is why I hate academic language,
This
and when it
isn't-
comes to
this isn't-
leftism debate and whatnot, I try to avoid using it whenever I can.
This isn't.
I mean, I
consistent.
usually avoid a lot of it when I'm
Yeah, it
talking,
just
unless I'm
muddles
in the
your
right
praxis.
crowds for it. Like,
Like-
if I'm in a group that understands the terms I'm using, I'll use the terms. But then, like,
Honestly,
if I'm not, I have
even
to sit there
then,
and
because then at least if someone who doesn't understand the shit sees this, maybe I can convince
Okay,
them of a worthwhile
I could,
argument.
but then I have to like talk for like 8 hours to explain a term that everyone understands.
This
I'll
Like,
do it because
like, yeah, I
fuck,
don't,
I hate
but
I
they
don't want to do
don't.
that all the time.
This hatred of white people is not consistent with these people's own ideology, is what I'm saying. There's an element of cognitive dissonance to it. It's not like it's once again, it's not like some grand conspiracy to actually hate white people, and that isn't what the dog whistle means. It's just the reason that the dog whistle was named this particular thing is because it gives it a little. It's a little bit of an internal, not even rebellion. It's a fuck you that they couldn't help themselves but put in.
Okay. I disagree. I think there are people who like take from this concept of like whiteness and like meaning white supremacy, and then they use that to apply to all white people, and that sucks. Like those people fucking suck. I don't think the original intention from like sociological papers was that.
No,
Yeah.
that's once again, this is what intention from the sociology. This has nothing to do with the papers and everything to do with the culture.
Well, you were
of
saying
academia.
academics.
Yes,
You should take
not the papers, but the culture of academia.
You should
It's
take
a
the
different
Anfash
thing.
position of they're sweaty nerds that never leave their houses and the only shit they read is academic material and shit, and they're so disassociated with like how actual society works. They name things really dumb things that in regular like just talking to people sound way more repugnant than they actually are.
I mean, yeah, that's
because-
that's
I
the
couldn't have
difference.
put it any
with
better
the
myself.
original
Fucking are.
proposal.
Yeah, they're just detached, and that's really how I see it. It's like
I
they
don't know.
just
To me, when I
surround
hear
Usually I
themselves
compliment you as a man lacking eloquence, Anfash.
Yeah.
Well, like I
don't
agree,
know,
I
to-
fully agree with that. I just also think there's another element of just personal pettiness to it.
I don't know about that.
No, I don't think it's
I don't know, man. I've met a
see,
lot
the
of
thing is,
smart
I'm having
people
a
who
hard
are
time
really
understanding what you're
fucking
talking
petty.
about. So maybe you're dog whistling right now. Who knows?
I'm actually a Nazi. I don't know if you. I am
You're
literally.
unironica Nazis who wish to
What are you
gas the
doing,
Jews.
Kashi?
This is
Why
not
are
a
you
joke.
doing this factory farm bullshit, dude?
So I can get eggs.
They make like a bigger. You putting like 7 turkeys in like 1 meter squared. Fucking
Turk Schuitz.
Yeah, this is so cruel. I'm witnessing this, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
No, Herder, you don't understand. He's getting revenge for the Armenian people.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Based.
Ah.
Based Armenian.
Yeah, I just again, I think most people honestly that are ignorant of the terms, they hear people bring up shit like whiteness or something like that, and they'll instantly see it as a personal attack.
No,
I
but
just
here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you talk to specifically these academics about, hey, have you considered? The ideas are great. I fully agree with the ideas. Yeah, whiteness is this gay ass construct that we need to abolish because it's toxic to society. Fully on board with that. Do you mind, in the interest of perpetuating the ideas associated with that, changing the name? And 100% of the time, if it's someone who like actually is into that term deep and not like someone cool on Twitter, they're just going to flip their shit and accuse you of being a Nazi.
based.
Oh, okay. I don't usually run into those kind of people, I guess.
This is like the academics proper, like and I'm sure among them, like most of them are chill,
Okay,
but
let me put it like
the
this,
thing.
right?
You know when you talk to leftists and you just don't bring up certain things because you know it's a whole can of worms.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all the time.
Yeah, I think a
Kinda
lot
right
of
now.
academics are like that because they're afraid of being ostracized in their own circles, and because of how intellectually incestuous all of academia is, because it's like a handful of people at the end of the day, that can become a serious problem with your career. This isn't just the case at leftist academia, but any kind of academia.
I think it's okay. I agree with that. Like, I think it's more the case that like they're afraid to stop using certain terms because okay. I think a good example of this is, you know how like a lot of like really dumb people will do the whole like evolution's just a theory thing. You know what I mean?
A game.
Because the meaning of theory in science is different from the meaning of theory in like colloquial sense.
Yeah, but the word theory
we're not
is
changing.
Yeah, please.
That is
go
an
ahead.
academic
I'm
term.
sorry. Yeah.
It's just a very more simple academic. But like, we don't change the academic meaning of like theory because like there's a huge portion of the population who doesn't know what that means.
No, but that's not what but the word, there's nothing inherently wrong with the word theory that suggests that it's the literal opposite of what it actually means.
Yes, there is.
No. That's because the misattribution of the word. Like, it doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't have the same, and it especially doesn't have the same charged connotations that whiteness does.
Well, no, because it's not racial in its components.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have the charge for us.
Yeah,
but
like,
for other
dude,
people.
I don't know if you.
Okay.
I grew up in the South, like, in like a kind of religious area, so like
Cringe.
the saying it's a theory like immediately delegitimized it for like a lot of people for evolution, or like hell, even like fucking I've heard flat earthers use it for like gravity and shit like that. Like, gravity is just a theory.
I mean, based.
But
They
it's
just
just a
floated
theory,
away.
guys.
Now, obviously,
Like,
there's
Jesus
more
Christ.
people who misattribute the term whiteness, but I mean, like, I don't like.
No, but it's the term white, like the term theory is because somebody misunderstood it at some point. There is no way that the person who came up with the term whiteness didn't think, hey, maybe this is not entirely ideal for what I'm trying to express. Maybe this is not like when I like trying to reach people. Although, actually, you know what? Given how mired in ideology academia is, I can see that happening.
Yeah,
But the misattribution of a theory is something that happened long after the word theory started to exist. And this wasn't like something that clearly was bound to happen from the very beginning. And also theory is like a much broader, like whiteness refers to a very specific academic concept, and the concept of a theory is used in many more circles. Like, if you couldn't like get all of like STEM science together and say, hey, let's change the meaning of the word theory, you could do this with academia, because again, and this is something that many people don't realize, this is like 12 people deciding the discourse, and then it filters down to Twitter.
Sure, yeah, I mean, theory is a lot more of a concreted term. I was just using it as a more like simple example, because obviously, like, neither of us are going to be super familiar with a lot of like really like newer esoteric like words like this that have the same issue.
Oh yeah.
Like we know about whiteness because conservatives complain about it a lot.
Well,
Like that's like
I read about.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
Wait,
actually.
wait.
This wasn't like
you fucking
I saw.
gay, you fucking read
I did
books
see
now.
conservatives talking about this, and I was like, "Hang on, what the fuck? Is this bitch actually going again? Like a whiteness is bad? We need to abolish white." And this is also one of the things that the way that not only the term is done, but like the entire material, in my opinion, is very often written in a way that where it's like it's too easy to misinterpret it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I feel that way with
It's
most
like
theories.
it's
fucking
made to be misinterpreted.
Dictatorship
100%.
of the proletariat, boys.
But
Let's
the thing
go.
is, right, like, that's a bit different because the term dictatorship didn't actually have a negative connotation at the time. Because I mean, the only like example of like dictatorship in like common parlance would have been like the Roman dictators.
Yeah. Big dictatorship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
penis.
So like it just means like person who
Dictatorship.
decide thing. Person or group who decide thing was like the kind of the term what it meant back then. But then in the 20th century we had like actual like a rise of like actual like dictators.
I am the dictator of my own consent sexually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because back in the day, yeah, you would consider. Would they have considered a king a dictator? I think they would.
The king is like a dictator that has these specific feudalistic connotations, but
Yeah, but I mean, like
Not
a king in the sense
also,
of the
like-
ancient Roman words, not necessarily like
no,
you know, thinking about
because the
dictatorship.
the feudalism thing, like especially in the like not necessarily in the Anglo feudal nations, but like in the European feudal nations, a lot of feudalism was also sure the king was the king and he was the liege of all the counts and shit, but they also were very powerful people. Like there was, I think in the was it the Holy Roman Empire where the specific set of counts actually elected the king.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, but then you had like more totalitarian kings, like in not pre-revolution
England,
but pre-Reformation France. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
England, France.
Yeah,
Take a
England.
pick of most of the kingdoms of around the same time as the Holy Roman Empire, and you'll probably.
Yeah, really, the Holy Roman Empire was the most democratic of them.
But,
also,
You got to
Only
vote
Lithuania
once
Commonwealth,
if you
but
were
that
one of 8
was-
guys.
But
Yeah.
president was used the
Also
same
the-
way as dictator too. It had like way different connotations when
Yeah, it
we
just means the
first
person
used
who
it.
decides shit.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't that.
Also-
It was like the reason that they picked presidents because like we don't want it to be king or anything, but like presidents are like of bowling clubs and shit like that. Like that's what's
Yeah.
gonna lead our nation, you know.
Yeah.
But another interesting thing is the Poland-Lithuanian Commonwealth also elected their kings, but that was later down the line, way later after the latest.
There were a lot of very interesting state models in like feudalist times.
Bro,
we
San
call it
Marino was a
feudalists.
direct democracy.
Yeah. There was a lot of very
merchant oligarchies and republics, like the Italian states.
Yeah, there were
Spaghetti.
a lot of very interesting forms of government. Like, not necessarily interesting in the sense of they're good, but like, interesting. You know how, like, you watch executions on Live League? It's interesting
Yeah.
in that sense.
I mean, I don't really go on Live Leak, but I have
doesn't
them on
exist anymore,
4chan threads and
unfortunately.
shit.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Well, I know
It
it's
was
gone
like,
now.
It was like 2020, 2019.
Yeah. That was a very sad day, honestly.
Sad
Because
day.
one of the things that I always loved the
sound of
most...
1,000.
Yeah.
The sound of 1,000 like Korean train beheadings cried out in pain.
Yeah. Honestly, one of the things that I've always loved most about the internet is how easy it was to just see unbelievably fucked up shit. Anything that you want to see, it's so easy to get there. And with Live Leak gone, that really became so much more difficult.
Yeah, come on. Where am I going to get my fat material now?
My question is, who's going to take up the mantle?
Yeah, the thing is that all of the websites that do take up the mantle, they're like very
Actually-
hardcore. They're a bit too hardcore for me. Like I
Hardcore for the casual internet user.
I want to
mean,
go on.
I'll be
the-
real. You can still get like the proper lively content if you wait around on B long enough.
Oh yeah, but I don't want to wait around on B any amount of time.
you.
I mean, fair enough.
What I think more, it's also fucking. The Watch People Die subreddit is interesting. The
I thought that was
I do, but I don't
Yeah,
want
how the fuck
all
are they
that
not
also,
banned?
but I don't want to go on bestgore.com. That's a bridge
Yeah.
too far for me. Like they're sort of isolating these extreme things to these very extreme places, and the in-betweeny kind of places are the ones that
sounds like a conspiracy
disappear.
to me.
It's not a conspiracy.
Berg, you like Mistborn, right?
Yes, let's say
No,
I
no,
like
no, no,
Mistborn and
let
not
me-
get
let
into
me-
this.
Let me just kind of. Can I just sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
can I just kind of segue into this where I think it's a conspiracy, just because they want the people in the secret Illuminati government. I'm sorry to use the phrase, but want to kind of push people to the extremes, just so when social credit scores become a thing, they can just say, "Hey, you've watched this website. Guess you're gonna lose social credit score."
You are
I don't-
absolutely
what?
correct in that this is a conspiracy theory.
That's why I fucking
No,
said
let me
it.
tell you something
Religion.
right now. The powers that be, whatever, if you think it's just like the individual capitalist government, the capitalists, or the Illuminati, or
Secret
Jews, or whatever the fuck
Illuminati
it is,
lizard man.
sure, what they want is the neoliberal status quo, because stability means profit, means the people in charge get to stay in charge, and they get to keep making money.
And brunch.
And so as long as they can
also.
perpetuate the status quo of the thing they already control,
Brunch
the
is a
better.
bourgeois concept.
I like brunch.
But anyway, I stumbled across this while I was just browsing YouTube, and yeah.
Arousing.
I mean, I can't play this because there's probably music or some shit. But what is it?
It's a trailer for a fan-made game somebody's working on. There's also a prototype prototype of the thing as well in the description. I can also just post it up.
Let's see.
Mistborn. Wait, I think I've heard of this.
What was her name? Vin? I forget the main character's name. Yeah, that doesn't.
That's just like the prototype of the gameplay, by the way.
It's about
still
someone
working on it,
born
obviously.
in mist.
Is this licensed at all?
I have no idea.
Because, I mean, Brandon Sanderson would probably think this is cool. Yeah, she doesn't look at all like I imagined her in my head.
I have no idea if this is
She
licensed or
doesn't
anything.
fit
I don't
your
even know
headcanon.
anything about Mistborn. I just kind of found this.
Mistborn is cool. It has a very interesting magic system, but and I'm gonna spoil you for a fucking video that I'm gonna make soon-ish.
Oh no.
It's a Brandon Sanderson book, so literally everything that happens in the world building relates back to the story. And the story, it's really good. The story, honestly, the characters are great. It's a great book series, but nothing just exists. Everything is somehow connected to the story. In this, this actually looks very interesting, in like this grand kind of way. It's like the entire world exists just to tell the story, and that is something
wait,
that I
this is based
personally
off a
really
book?
do not like. Yeah, this is based off a book.
Damn, video games are getting in. Well, books are getting adapted into video games. Nice.
I would love if one of my books got adapted into a
I've-
fucking video game.
Yeah. Like, I haven't seen the Dune
fair.
movie yet. I have the book, it's sitting on my bookshelf, and I keep, like, not picking it up and reading it. Like,
No, read it, do it.
I
Fucking
need
do
to.
it.
What are you,
I know.
Amish? Reading books? God.
Holy
I don't know
What
why.
a
Like, the
fucking
last time I
game.
read anything was, like, I just pulled a Lovecraft collection out of my bookshelf on a whim, and I haven't read anything since then, and it's been, like, fuck, I think 6 months, and it was, like, at least a year.
6
before I
months of
read it.
cosmic horror and racism.
I've been
No, I
reading.
mean,
Hell yeah,
as
brother.
in 6, I haven't read another book in 6 months. And before that, it had been at least a year because I had to keep well, my books in a bag where they weren't easily accessible and just never had the motivation.
Chase the bag. How about that? I've been reading this book called Uplift. It's a book series, and it's a really interesting concept. It's like humans are like uplifting at chimpanzees and dolphins and shit, and then we also run into aliens.
Oh dear lord!
But oh my god, is it the main character is the most insufferable Mary Sue of all time. He is not only is he a Mary Sue, but he is the worst kind of Mary Sue. He is an edgy Mary Sue.
This kind of reminds me of my personal opinion of Code Geass, to be honest.
That reminds me of someone. Anyway.
Oh my god, you
I
son
know
of a bitch.
immediately what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is it like that, Burger? Is it like that?
It's immediately. I know what you're talking about.
Damn.
Specific character.
I have a
too.
guess. I have a guess what you mean, but
You won't.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You
No,
won't.
this
It's an inside joke.
This is
Is
not
this
a
an
public thing.
in-server joke, or is this just between you two? Because if it's an in-server, I know immediately.
No,
what you're talking about.
this is kind of just between Adfash and me and some other people, but it's not from.
Oh,
the server,
okay.
necessarily.
Okay, never mind. I thought we were talking about a certain character who shall not be named.
Yeah.
No, this is not about Zen.
I was
no.
thinking of someone completely
Okay.
different. I was thinking of someone completely different. In this server, especially, but, someone completely different.
Yeah.
I know the one you're referring to, the one who shall not be named.
No, it's not. It's not that. Not at all.
No.
Who the fuck are you talking
not
about so I
even
can name them?
remotely.
Jesus Christ. Everyone's like, this person who should not be named, that person who should not
No,
be
I
named.
didn't say they shouldn't be named. I'm just saying the context will be completely lost on anybody that's not me or Burger.
We don't want to
That's
talk
it.
shit about our friend.
Yeah, exactly. It's also that.
yeah, because we like him, but goddamn.
Look, how can you call yourself friends if you don't talk about shit about each other? That's all I'm saying.
Look,
Yeah, but,
just
like,
go to
not
your
two
local
other
Brazilian
people.
favela.
That being
And,
said,
yeah.
Aldwin, if you're watching right now, go fuck yourself. I'm not gonna answer your call.
Yeah, you Zabuma fool.
Yeah, fuck you,
You fucking
Alduin.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Aldwin, you fuckface.
Yeah, no. We talk shit to his face about this specifically, and many other things, but not to other people. That would be rude.
No, that'd be rude. No.
That'd be rude as fuck, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No. But the character in fucking Uplift is unbelievable. He's like he's a scientist, but he's also like a martial arts expert, and he saved
Dolph Lundgren.
He saved the there's like 2 space elevators, and he basically saved one of them from terrorists somehow by sacrificing his wife. And he has this
He is a scientist.
He has this alternate self that he calls Mr. Hyde, that is like super extremely cool guy that is like a master thief. And then
There's
he
also
does
elevator
terrorism.
He does this
meditation
thing where he can
this book.
he does this meditation thing where he's like, and then I entered into a trance and I wasn't feeling pain anymore. It's unbelievable.
Oh my god.
Fucking gay.
God damn, I've read too many fan fictions with that. I've read way too
How
many.
did you not give yourself a paper cut on every page of this book?
And the thing is, he
With
tries
that
to
edge.
make like good female characters, but fails so miserably because he's just so fucking condescending. It's like, whoa, and this is the super genius spaceship captain that's like parlayed with aliens, and she's so cool and based. And she immediately falls for this guy, and she's so interesting, but because she loves him so much, she disregards protocol on the mission, which does end up saving all of them, and because she's so impressive, but also she's a woman and she thinks with her heart. It's unbelievable. It's honestly,
cringe.
Yeah.
Burger, Olin would like me to tell you that he masturbates to your buttery smooth voice.
Shit, see, that's very ironic because I also masturbate to his grating voice. So
Oh,
I
Jesus.
guess that we are in agreement.
That's a
Yeah, I
lot
guess
of
so.
fucking items.
Actually, your voice is not grating.
I just can't believe that there's
How is
space
it-
elevator
Oh, cool.
terrorism.
I just
Is also
deleted
in the
my
story.
game.
Space elevator terrorism. Have you
Yeah.
fucking
even.
played Ace
Dude,
Combat, my dude?
Listen, the second there's a space elevator, someone's gonna try and blow it up. All right,
Yes.
like,
No, yeah.
I
It's
have-
not-
Yeah, I
this is
actually
just
think what they're
focused
going to do
on
is they're going to try to
combat.
save the people on it and then strap bombs to them and push them off.
I think this.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, I'm
Our
just
fellow
full of the jokes that
Americans.
only Burger finds funny
I really
today.
need a cheesesteak and some head right now.
Yeah.
After we explicitly agreed to like go behind the back of the team to put bombs inside
oh, this is a
of
fucking RPG reference. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
to put bombs inside of the fucking parachutes that we put on the people that were trying to help flee the space elevator that was stealing.
Oh, dear God, that sounds fucking
To
bad.
roll
Bro.
for stealth in order to put bombs in their backpacks so they can be blown up as they jump out.
Holy
Why,
Jesus.
why do people still fucking drink Four Locos in the U.S.? It's just
I
shitty
don't
grain
know.
alcohol.
I don't
Like,
know. They're popular where I grew up for some reason.
well, it makes sense, like, in the past, because you're a boomer, and, like, when they were allowed to put caffeine in them, but now it's just gross.
Right, I keep forgetting. It's like Jesus. Everyone in the bottom half of the chat is a boomer, and everyone in the top half of the chat's a fucking zoomer.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Represent.
Yeah. But that's the fucking
jeez.
no. But this destroying a space elevator in an act of terrorism happens like 3 times in the Red Mars books. It's like, and then they destroyed the space elevator again, and it's not even. It's the same people who do it. It's like, oh, yep, it's
The
the
same
Reds.
people, Jesus Christ. It
It's
sounds
the
just
Reds,
as bad
and
as
they're
Ace
doing
Combat,
it
where
because-
everything can be blamed on the Erusians.
Yeah, it's the Reds, and they're doing it because they're racist, and they don't want Mars to be terraformed. Okay, well that's cool. Let's build a new space elevator. Oh, the Reds blew it up. Well, that's really
Yeah, it'd be like if you built
unexpected.
like a giant fuck off death weapon, and like rebels came and blew it up, and then you built another one, and then they came back and blew it up. Fucking
The funniest thing about Red Mars is that like 2 of the main characters, like the leader of the Reds and the leader of the fucking the Greens, or later the Blues, the informal leader of them, I should say, are like both like perspective characters, and they hate each other throughout the whole series, until they find out at the end of the series that the reason they hate each other is because like 200 years ago they were into each other, and because they were both socially awkward autists, failed to read each other and thought that they had rejected each other. And that is where the entire political conflict on Mars, with like thousands and tens of thousands of dead people, came from. Like, this is just literally... I mean, it's a lot more complicated. That's a very good book series, but fucking hell.
You know, we keep seeing all this shit, like space elevators and reusable rockets and spaceships and shit in sci-fi. You know what I see in sci-fi for once? The fucking super gun.
But, like,
You know-
railguns?
No, it's literally just a gun that shoots things into space.
Like a
Not
railgun.
like a rail... No, like a black
I
powder
think the
gun.
Oh,
Or
you
have
you
something
mean like the
Great
fucking
War
like
Thing,
to
40K
the moon
app,
type
something
shit?
like that.
Yeah, like when
Well, yeah,
people
but there
back
was a
back
guy
in the
who
Victorian times and shit, what people thought space travel was gonna be with cannons.
but those are the modern representation of those are like mass drivers, railguns.
Dude, that's cringe. That's
That
boring.
wasn't just that though. There were back in the 90s. There was a guy actually trying to get this off the ground. Like he ended up actually inventing like I think it was artillery for Saudi Arabia
Like,
or some
with
shit just to try and fund the
explosives?
process. Yeah, just like fire a gun to propel something into space.
But
Oh, like launch out the
with
backside of it?
explosives as opposed to magnetism.
base.
Yes.
doing it with rockets, except, you know, it's self-propelled.
Yeah.
God damn.
Based.
Yeah, well, the reason that we're not going to see that is because it's insane. But I
Yeah.
would love to see an insane sci-fi
Unlike the
thing.
Orion Drive, where we
But-
drop nukes out the back of it, that's entirely rational.
That is
Yeah, but
entirely
I mean,
rational.
this is kind of part of it. What happened? And, like, the guy who designed this was trying to invent a gun that could shoot things into space, so we wouldn't have to use
Okay,
rockets.
hold up.
basically.
I'm sorry, guys. I now, especially now that like I educate myself more and shit. No, we will do insane shit. Might I remind you, in the nuclear age, like the smartest fucking nuclear physicists were fucking around with a plutonium core with a fucking screwdriver. And these people were people that knew what they were doing. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, but they didn't. They did like they made things that work at the end of the day. The reason we don't see a supergun is because it won't work because of physics.
Yeah, but it works. But I'm just saying, rational and smart with humans, even smart ones. I'm like,
no, but that's
there was
not
like
what I
four of
mean.
them that died because of this.
Dude,
I know.
I think my favorite story from the
Okay,
Cold
Burger,
War...
you say we make things that work, and that's all fine and dandy. Do I need to remind you that Davy Crockett exists?
Base.
Who the fuck is Davy Crockett?
The Davy.
The Davy-
Right.
Oh my goodness, he
Okay,
doesn't know what
you know
it
the
is.
MERV
Oh,
from
yeah.
Fallout New Vegas? I mean, from Fallout. This inspired that. It was a
Fat
man
Man launcher.
portable
Yeah, the Fat
nuclear
Man.
weapons platform.
Except the Fat Man launcher was a slingshot. This is like a fucking... This is like a
Yeah,
rocket.
pretty much.
I thought it worked. No, it works like a mortar. I thought is a
This
fucking.
works like a mortar. In Fallout, it's like a
Or
slingshot.
RPG.
Hell yeah.
I'd say RPG.
Yeah, but I mean, this is like a fucking. I mean, this might be I assume they built a prototype of the supergun, but like, I'm saying the reason we don't see it in science fiction, unless it's like weird science fiction, is because it doesn't physically work.
Also, I would like to mention the fact that the Davy Crockett did function. It just blast radius was bigger than its launch radius.
Well, yeah,
So
that's what I
that's the
mean.
problem with it.
Yes, that's what I meant. Like,
Base.
functionally,
I
yes, it works, but it does
It
not
works.
work as it.
Just
Yes,
listen.
functionally it works. It just doesn't work as intended.
I mean, we have the football now. So we
I
don't
was
need
gonna-
a fucking
listen,
Davy
if you
Crockett.
get a disposable soldier,
You just need a marine. He won't care. He'll strap that
listen,
shit to
hey,
his chest.
What is cheaper, one marine? What is cheaper, one marine or an intercontinental ballistic missile?
No, but the
alright?
thing is, the Marine will do it. Like, that's what I'm saying. If the United States ever needed people to strap bombs to their chests and fly planes into buildings, we have that already. Like, we already have that shit.
The U.S. Army wouldn't even be the first people who do that as a military.
Honestly, just give it to a South Korean Marine and tell him that there's a North Korean over there.
Oh, the
He'll do
army
it
wouldn't
for
do
you.
that shit. The Marines
No,
would.
none of the Marines fucking would, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the argument, it wasn't an argument, but I was bringing up, everybody was talking about the Osprey in fucking general today. The
Yeah.
Osprey is what is literally just kills Marines. Like, it is the thing that they use, their helicopter, and only thing it's good at is murdering Marines, because it is such a shitty piece of equipment that literally we only use it because it looks cool. And that is
look
it.
Cool though. You
It does
can't
look
deny
cool
that.
as fuck. Yes.
I think the new one doesn't kill Marines as much.
Does it not?
I don't think so.
Doesn't.
Again,
I
my
don't know.
favorite thing.
I haven't looked at too much of the specs of it, so I wouldn't be able to tell for sure. I just saw the engine like specs on it.
I just love that it was designed for rescue operations, but its downdraft
can't
is
do it.
so powerful that it kills people that are under it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or it can't function in fucking dust, and they're using it in the Middle East with that high of a fucking downdraft, so it's just completely inoperable where it's supposed to be fucking used as well. But it looks cool. And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know what's another like factor of just it looks cool, but it's so fucking stupid?
Gyrojet.
This one sword that was found during the Pacific Island campaigns that some crackhead Japanese general probably made.
Hell yes.
I love it.
dude.
It's the gun blade before the
Is
gun
it?
blade.
Yes.
Finally,
it's the fucking
Guntana.
bamboo with a samurai sword on it. With a
Yeah,
fucking
it's big-
katana.
They just like welded some shitty clip to it, and I think how it works is that the entire tang of the blade just goes through the ejection port and into the magazine well.
Man, it sucks that Nambu suck because they're pretty pistols. But,
I mean, to be fair, they did design the Ruger off of it.
yeah.
26.
I'm not going to
none of
support
this.
those people.
Geeks.
You mean
Germans.
Japanese people?
Yeah. No, I was going to say Germans. Actually.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you get some weird shit from soldiers making shit. Like, I think the main reason is, I forget the fucking actual designation, but the Stinger was made during World War II out of desperation, and that's basically what led to one of our modern machine guns. It was.
I mean, I like more like the food. Like, there's cool food and shit. Like the Japanese, like how they invented. What the fuck is that? Breadcrumbs called? Fucking.
Panko.
Bongo?
Yeah, panko breadcrumbs. It's because they didn't have anything to heat their like bread with, so they fucking zapped it with tank batteries, and then you get panko breadcrumbs.
I love it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I have some pancakes here.
I'm pretty sure the way they used to make sake was they would just like chew up some rice and spit into a
Holy
bottle and just lock it away for a while.
Yeah, I mean that's how they make booze in a lot of like South American tribes too, with like spitting. You know,
There
crazy
has to
shit
be
like that.
Someone who has a fetish for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Sounds like nasty fucking booze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bust ling fungus.
Hell yeah. That needs to be a YouTube channel. There's a new $1 million idea. There's the guy that makes sausages out of everything. I want a guy that makes alcohol out of everything. Let's do
That's definitely something.
I mean, Whiskey Tribe kind of does that once
Does
in a
he?
while, but...
Now we're gonna make booze out of Mountain Dew.
Okay, yeah, it was the M60 that got built because of the Stinger, technically, the M60.
I'm pretty sure at one point I did something booze related with Mountain Dew as an experiment.
Well, it was originally invented as a mixer.
If you
For
ever made
whiskey.
you ever had a Dugarita before?
Yes, I did actually. Last year, Joy and I met up to make the Dugarita, and I didn't hate it. And then we made cement mixes, and she hated them, even though cement mixes are fucking lit.
Yeah, but like, they sound gross.
Yeah.
Cement
What's a
mixers,
cement
I'm not
mixer?
familiar.
Oh, okay. So cement mixer is it's 2 shots. It's and you drink them at the same time and mix them in your mouth. It's 1 shot of Bailey's and 1 shot of lime juice.
Oh, I thought it was limoncello.
Genuine.
What
Yeah.
the fuck is wrong with you?
Have you ever done
Again, I
carbon?
guess I know it's called cement mixer because it makes hard ass fucking like curds in your mouth.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the thing that I don't know how you Americans call it, we in Germany call it Mexican. If it wasn't for that shot, like the fucking that would be my favorite shot.
What?
What's
Tequila shots?
Mexican?
It's like a hot sauce with tequila, I think.
Oh.
Let me Google this.
No.
I mean,
Dude,
we don't really...
Baby Guinness. Hey, do Baby Guinness. If you like
we
Bailey's
have-
shots. Baby
I don't know
Guinness,
if we
dude.
have those. I wouldn't be surprised because I've seen people do it before. I just never had a name.
Hey,
If anything,
Meredith.
the
Wait.
more... Or was
Florida, did you ask what Baby Guinness was?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Yeah,
one
it's like-
part Irish cream,
so
3
it's
parts coffee
basically-
liqueur, and then black sambuca. Okay.
Yeah, or you can put like whiskey and shit in it too, but it's coffee and Bailey's.
So
Yeah, it slaps.
Mexican is basically okay, can be corn and vodka also, tomato juice, sangrita, Tabasco, and salt and pepper.
These are all
Yeah.
things I don't want to have while I'm
This-
drinking alcohol.
yeah.
Honestly,
This
it just
I
sounds like a
love.
more complicated Bloody Mary. Like,
Yes,
the
this
more
is.
common
It
thing-
literally says in the fucking Wikipedia page, the recipe is similar to the long drink Bloody Mary.
Yeah, but then
like
there's
Bloody
like
Mary-
disgusting Mexican beer,
Over
the
here,
tomato beer.
Yeah, Bloody Mary's usually a hangover thing. Over here, California, and we tend to go less for for those and go more for michelada.
Yeah, so
Michelada's
this shot
disgusting.
doesn't exist in America because it was invented in Hamburg, and I fucking love
Yeah.
it.
Only here's the thing, right? For us, it's not a shot. We just have like a fucking glass of it. Like I just
Yeah.
threw up a.
Yeah,
that's a different-
Michelada's gross.
Because for
It's
a
not really
shot-
my thing either.
For a shot, you want something that packs flavor.
It has Corona in it. Disgusting.
I mean,
Oh,
some
God.
people use Corona. My buddy uses Modelo. It really depends, like what. your
Modelo's
taste
alright.
is.
Corona's terrible.
It tastes like what the fuck is that cold tomato soup? Fucking
Gazpacho.
Yeah, it tastes like gazpacho, and
I
I don't
love
want that when I'm
gazpacho.
getting fucked. I don't want that when I'm getting fucked up with the boys.
Gazpacho.
I don't love gazpacho then.
I love gazpacho.
Yo, boy, we releasing some crazy tonight, but we got some gazpacho to take with us.
I mean, let me put it this way: at least it's not clamato.
Every time I eat gazpacho, I can't. I have to say gazpacho. I am surprised that it's cold every time. I
Really?
know
You
that
should, like,
it's
make
cold.
it tomato soup. Just make it tomato soup.
I love tomato
Heat it up.
soup, but
Heat
gazpacho
it up
is
instead.
also very good. I like it, but it's a
Yeah, I-
childhood thing.
Mhm.
Also, Burger, I'm just required to say it. Tu hablas bucar, puto.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing I understand out of that was puto. I don't know. California Mexican
You're speaking.
is different.
You're speaking spit, bitch.
Here's the thing. Look, this is something that if you don't speak Spanish, you may not know this. But the Mexicans are like the Scottish people of the Spanish-speaking world because nobody understands what the fuck they're saying.
I honestly thought it was more Puerto
I
Ricans.
know what it's like. What is he saying? What? Can we get subtitles for this new Narcos show, please?
Bro, it sucks. So I
this
like.
is the kind of Spanish I grew up fucking around.
I've
Sue
been-
me.
Yeah.
I've been doing fucking Spanish classes, right? And like I learned some Mexican Spanish, and then like because it's like Argentinians and shit. They're like, "What the fuck are you saying?" They're like, "Oh, what do you do for work?" They're like, "What the fuck do you do for work?" And I'm like, "Oh, yo trabajo fasolero." That's only in Mexico. They only call plumbers fasoleros in Mexico. It's like plomero or some shit everywhere else.
¿Qué dice? ¿Dice fosilero?
Yeah, fasolero.
¿Vos trabaja de fosilero? ¿Vos? Argentinians have also like the Argentinians are easy to understand, but they have the weirdest fucking things. Like they use the formal you for everything, and they
Pretentious
have
bitches.
this thing vos.
Vos, yeah.
They don't even say ustedes, but vos. And this is no one else does this, and I have no idea where it comes from. But immediately when they say, "Okay, this guy's Argentinian," oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Also, every word that begins with an S, they do the sh noise. There's that too.
It's unbelievable. Like
Yeah.
it's wild.
Yeah.
It gets
Well,
weird.
like, what about Puerto
Well,
Ricans?
yeah,
'Cause from when I
weird.
hear Puerto Ricans speak as opposed to like other types of Spanish, they tend to speak really quickly. Like, they talk like at a mile a minute.
Yeah, that just sounds normal.
I'll say this much though. You think
No,
like
maybe it's
Mexican
because I'm from Florida, so most people here who are
Are
Hispanic
Cubans.
are either Cuban or Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And Puerto Ricans talk really, really fast.
I think Cubans talk
really, really
slow. I
Yeah, they
think
talk
it's just
really slow.
Cubans talk slow. That's what it is.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's two kinds of weird Spanish that I can never understand. The first is one that's like being spoken by Filipino, because I've had one or two Filipino coworkers and they're speaking Spanish. I can't fucking understand a word they're saying.
Based.
It's a big dialect,
And the-
though. Almost a language.
And
so.
the other one is that I remember when I was working in this warehouse in the middle of the desert for a long time, and there was like at a lot of jobs I worked at, there's like a good chunk of illegals because it's shit paying jobs. They're not going to check your background very much. Most of it's like
Yeah,
job agency type shit, and like the one language that was being spoken a lot, and it took me a while to understand what the fuck it was until like one of my coworkers told me a lot of fuckers that were speaking Mayan.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
dude.
days.
No,
Dude.
the
Yeah,
worst
Mayan's
for
actually
Spanish.
more common than you expect. People in Chiapas speak Mayan pretty often.
The worst for Spanish speakers, actually, I think, are fucking Andalusians and shit in Spain because it's like the OG Mexican accent, and they do the same. They keep up the Arab tradition of just dropping shit in words and just not saying it. So you have to fucking guess what they're saying.
And a lot of the time they will use the wrong consonant. Like instead of saying like the L's, they will usually replace with R's. They don't say la falda but la farda. And it's just it's a lot. It's Spanish, but without the difference between different words, so you can understand what they mean. It's honestly like people make fun of people in Spain proper make a lot more fun about Andalusians than they do about Mexicans. But yeah, I have grown a little careful making fun of them. Because of I know people who are Andalusian.
I mean, it's
And I don't
base.
wanna
It's the
piss
most
them off
base
just
part of
yet.
Spain.
Yeah.
So like, that's cool, but
Yeah.
like also they sound retarded.
They
So
They are absolutely retarded.
it's really hard when like you kind of know what they're saying, but then they just start dropping parts of words and they just stop saying words. It's like,
it's a
guess.
very economic way of speaking.
I think it's just because of the fucking Arabic colonization of that shit. They just kept it with the writing system, except now with the speaking system. So instead of guessing vowels, you're guessing what there's like words that they're saying.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. There's so many fucking Spanish dialects, and interestingly enough, because well, actually, this isn't a good analogy. Fuck, I was trying to do a cool analogy, but it doesn't track.
Base.
Shit. What I like is that very often these Spanish-speaking regions that have like their own languages will very explicitly speak like High Spanish. Except for the rural areas there, where they will very explicitly sort of introduce their own accent into it on purpose.
Like Spanglish type shit, except double Spanish instead of Spanish and English.
Well,
yeah.
these are all different languages.
Yeah.
Basque.
English.
I mean, Basque is wild because it's not related to any other language.
No, it's the only like not Proto-Indo-European language or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really.
That sounds about right.
Fucking cave people.
Oh yeah, for sure it is.
And
probably the most interesting language I've ever seen.
All of the Spanish linguistic minority groups are are very proud of their linguistic heritage. In my old school where I went to in Spain, they have this huge graffiti on the wall, and this is like a middle school, where there's just a guy who's cutting off his own tongue, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And it's
hell yeah, brother.
It says I can't get the wording right, but it basically translates it, don't let them cut off your tongue, which also literally means don't let them cut off your language, because tongue and language is lingua, which is the same word.
Lingua, you mean, motherfucker?
In Catalan, it's lingua.
Yeah, that's one thing though that's also stupid about Spain though, is that I've noticed. I think maybe it's not Valencian. It's some other place that's right next to Catalonia. They claim to have a separate fucking like vocabulary and shit like that, and it's the same. It's just Catalonia.
And you know who also does this is the people
on some islands, right?
Yeah, on Mallorca.
Yeah.
Because when I say, oh, I speak Catalan, I say, no, tu charles Mallorquí.
yeah. It's like, no, dude, fuck you. It's the same shit. It's your weird French Spanish. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean it's a distinct dialect. The accent is very different. It's like more disgusting even. I say this with pride, because I speak it. But it's.
There's nothing disgusting. They worship the shitter on Christmas. It's opposed to Jesus. So like,
do you guys know about this? The shitter is gonna. You know nativity scenes in America, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just post a picture of this. So nativity scenes have a lot of different characters that are portrayed on them. You have
nativity scenes with Spanish characteristics.
You have Joseph, Mary, obviously baby Jesus. The three, the Reyes Magos, the what are they called in English?
Wise men.
The three wise men, yeah. The fucking there's a bunch of farmers that are just standing around because they got blessed by Jesus showing up. There's one who's herding a bunch of animals. One who's like supplicating in front of the whole crib, and of course, most importantly, there's the one who's taking a shit in the background.
Oh no!
Holy shit, man!
This is the thing.
That's amazing.
Literally, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
This is the thing. This is a Catalonian tradition that has existed for centuries, and there is such a huge industry around these things. You can get Kaganes for your
Oh my
nativity scene
goodness.
of every stripe. It is unbelievable.
I need to get the one of George Bush. That one's actually useful
I'm
to me.
sorry. The fact that SpongeBob is taking a shit in front of Jesus in Catalonia, I just
No, he's behind the thing. He's behind the
Oh my
yeah.
god.
I don't know if I feel comfortable with Michael Jackson pulling down his pants around children. I don't know about that one.
I like how he's in the
Dude, there's
picture
just so
twice.
many flavors.
Yeah,
why is
there's
Catalonia just the most
so
based
many
place?
of
Holy
these.
shit.
There are so many of these. It is incredible.
Oh my god, is that a Hitler one?
Yes.
Space.
It's
Wait,
Or
honestly.
no, is
Ain't this Hitler?
no, it's maybe
The-
it's that silent film
Shitler.
guy. I'm totally blanking on his
Charlie
name.
Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin?
Yes, him. Yeah,
Where?
it might actually be him.
Which row? Which one?
Second image, second row.
Second row?
Yeah.
Albert, Asmir, Bush.
I think it's Asmir. That's
Asmir? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that's a different guy.
Yeah.
They're like Funko Pops, really.
Oh my
They're
god.
artisanal Catalonian Funko Pops.
They're
my
shit.
goodness.
People taking a shit. Just.
I've got to start
This is-
collecting these. Holy shit.
This is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, I love them. And it's like, people don't believe me when I say this. Like, there's no way. My own grandmother, she lives there. She's like, no. It's like, dude, we've been to the Christmas market so many times and I've pointed those things out. We had one at our nativity scene that you purchased because I thought they were funny.
Oh my goodness.
The entire place was trying to fucking gaslight you saying these didn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many of them. There's the
Yeah, they're
Statue
everywhere.
of Liberty, Super Mario.
And it's not even Christmas. Like they, at least in like Barcelona and shit, they have it all year round. Like you can fucking find shitters. Yeah.
You can buy those all the time. It's they only
Yeah.
get put on the nativity scene on Christmas.
Yeah.
This is fucking amazing.
This is something that, like, if you explain this to a wasp, then they will commit suicide.
Yeah.
Wasp.
Or rather, I mean, they're Catholics, so fucking in Catalonia. So I don't think the wasps will just feel like, oh yeah, we are the true Christians because we're Puritans.
Yeah.
What are wasps?
White
Anglo-Saxon
Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Oh, those people.
I fucking hate this. Like, I hate the Catholic guilt shit. But the thing that I hate more than the Catholic guilt shit is the Protestant don't ever do anything that is enjoyable shit.
Oh, dude, my grandmother like talks about it all the time because she was brought up
You to work, no?
in this she was brought up in this like uber like Anglican shit when she was a kid, and like their church was basically so anti-Catholic they only had a wooden cross and it was white walls and shit in the building because like Catholics are all about like having cool art and shit, and they're like, well, we can't do that because that's what they do, so we have to do the exact opposite and be boring because Catholicism has gold and shit. We don't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it's
Because
just
Martin
cringe.
Luther was fucking. No, wait, it's not Martin Luther. It's Luther, yes, but
What? Martin Luther was the original guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OG Protestant.
But
I
he
don't
wasn't
think-
trying
I
to be a
don't think-
Protestant, though.
Yeah, I don't think he's the guy who came up with the Protestant work ethic. He was just like, hey, yeah, all this shit is bullshit. Look what's actually in the Bible. The institution of the church is just being a fucking dumb bitch.
Well, he was also trying to fix it. He wasn't fuck you
yeah.
guys. He's like, hey guys, like this is a thing that I just noticed. Can you guys explain this, please? Like, we shouldn't do this.
That would be a very interesting alternate history scenario where, like, Luther becomes the Pope.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, okay. It turns out he's right, and we've been straying from the path.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to make Protestantism. It just happened because the church was like, excuse me, actually all the things that benefit us financially and politically are totally correct and the way that it should be done.
What do you mean the Bible doesn't say you're not allowed to pay priests so you don't go to hell?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, this is I'm gay.
Yeah. Mana.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Oh fuck!
Look there,
God damn it.
penis. Oh, it's in your
Ah,
mouth.
man.
You're a child. Yeah, that's the fucking. Yeah, but the whole Protestant work ethic thing, and like the
It's
the
cringe.
never enjoy anything aspect of Protestantism is something that I hate
Yeah.
so
Is
utterly.
cringe.
OG Sigma males are just prots. They're just on that grind set,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, come on. You're only saying that because you're a crypto Hibernian.
I'm not a crypto anything. I'm very, very overt in all my beliefs.
I'm very overtly Jewish.
Oy vey.
I
Yeah.
fucking.
They
This is the the content, the I don't know what I would have done bit.
Oh. I don't
Which one was that one?
The one where it's Adam, right? And he is like a hypothetical scenario posed by Nick, and it's like Adam. It's like what would you do if you were like fucking seeing a woman getting raped in the street?
Oh, the flip flops one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what I would have done. That honestly, that is the most Jewish thing he's ever said.
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah. It'd be like that.
Uh,
I don't know.
I haven't,
The one-
I haven't
the one-
seen that bit.
The one thing I do like find really fascinating with like a lot of Catholic shit is them just going around like to like people that are like, completely disparate beliefs that are like pagans and shit. They're like, well, actually, you guys are right, but also wrong. And basically, like all these things you believe, sure, you can still believe them, but it's like Jesus and shit, and not your weird salmon gods Irish people, or not Quetzalcoatl Mexicans, but this thing. But everything else is basically right. Yeah.
it's it's essentially a polytheistic religion,
Yeah.
but with one
The
supreme.
truth of it all is,
They kind
The
of just
salmon's
borrowed
right the
a
whole
lot of
time.
things.
Yeah, dude.
What I watched it today. I watched this video from like Religion for Breakfast about Santa Muerte.
Yeah, based.
Which is
I
really
just watched that one
fascinating
recently.
because they're just like they just had this iconography of the Grim Reaper, and they told them, yeah, all of your gods are actually like saints, and they went like, oh yeah, then this must be our death goddess that's also looks like this kinda, and they're like, oh no, no, that's not what we meant at all.
And cue the death cults.
Yeah.
No, but they're not. They're not like a death cult. Like
Yeah,
that's the
they're
one thing
actually-
that I thought was really cool about that is Santa Muerte is actually pretty chill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
Except
you can,
for, like,
you
the
can, you
couple
can
weirdos.
supplicate to her for pretty much anything.
yeah. No, well, no, there isn't like now there probably is because there's zealots with like everything. But like how
Well,
Religion
there-
for Breakfast was
There
framing
are
it.
zealous with Santa Muerte, and they're fucking weird, dude. Like,
Are they?
bury people alive and shit.
Okay, that's fucked. But most of the people that believe it are just like, well, this is the only person I can talk to because fucking they're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
mean,
Yeah.
it's like this with most things, especially
Yeah.
religion. Like, most people are cool, but then you get to the extremists, and it's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, dude, shut
Yep.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn it.
One of my favorite ones was have you guys ever seen Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia, which is about the dude that travels the world and like does drugs and like
I've
talks
heard
about
of
like
it,
the
but I
cultural
haven't watched
implications
it
and
yet.
shit. There was one really cool one. It was like in the Andes, like somewhere, but like like they had their like shit. I forgot what they believed, but like they would do like these psychedelic cactuses and shit, the big huge ones. And then Christianity came in, and they still did it. And they still have a medicine man that basically for any issue anybody has, like, yeah, here, drink this fucking tea and get high with me. Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, dude.
This is Jesus tea. It's how we talk to Jesus.
I do think that we in the West have lost this kind of very healthy relationship to drugs.
I mean,
and
I don't know, man.
Yeah, we kind of did. We kind of.
You ever been to an Irish wake, my man?
I don't know.
Like,
I think
no,
we're
the
trying to
Irish-
get. I think we're trying to get back to
Look,
it.
look.
We're trying to get back.
The
to
thing
it,
is,
yeah.
the Irish are completely separate from anything religious-wise. just context-wise, religiously, they are completely separate from anything in Europe.
How?
What do you mean?
What?
I mean,
They're
they're
Catholic.
Europe. Yeah, they're
They're
Catholic.
Not only are
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Catholic, but they're the Catholics that like restored Catholicism.
Yeah, they're the ones that like kept it going and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They started
'cause-
Halloween.
They're also the ones that integrated so successfully their pagan myths
shit's
with
too dark.
Catholicism.
Oh yeah, they
don't get me wrong, like,
the people
a
in
lot of
Ireland
other
completely believe in the Fae too. Yeah.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
my grandma on her death like still believed in banshees and shit like that to her fucking
This
grave.
I
Yeah.
fucking like. Joy has these things. She's a very Protestant gal, and
Why
she has
aren't
these
you
Dude,
doing
there
a
are-
thing?
Like
bands.
stories of fucking
God damn.
fairies and shit.
I will say though, as someone
Also,
who has
they're
been
way-
there to the countryside and shit, it's spooky as fuck at night, and I get why they believe all their weird shit. It makes
Yeah.
sense. They have no lights, and then like there's the fucking bogs that create the weird lights and shit with all the gases that emit from them.
You
And
mean
it's
the will o
spooky.
wisps?
Yeah, like all that shit. It's just
I'd love to see those at some point, actually.
yeah.
Don't fall
and then,
and you'll die.
No, don't. You'll fucking die. The bog is a death trap that
No,
I
I'd love
went
to
into
see the
because I didn't
willow.
know.
I'm not saying I want to see the inside of a bog by killing myself in it.
Bro, I almost
Well,
did
that's
when
why
I
you
was
see the
over there.
lights.
Yeah, I almost did. It wasn't Will-O-Wisp. I saw a mountain in like the background of my fucking like my uncle's farm, and I'm like, I'm gonna climb that. And instead of taking the road, I started cutting across the fucking farm side, and I got into a bog. And I don't know how I'm still here. I somehow managed to get the fuck out. But that was spooky.
Okay, I will leave you with this. Apparently, I just read this. There is one particular Kagane that was the best-selling Kagane at some Christmas, and I'm going to post a picture of it, and then I'm going to end the stream. And it's this. And I'm going to leave you all to come to your own conclusions.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thanks so much for
Oh
watching.
my
Sick.
gosh.
Cunts.
Who's that?
I have no
Who's
idea.
that?